Okay, good evening and welcome to Phil Goes Deep. If you're watching this premiere, it is Wednesday, and this is a one-off because I'm actually celebrating the UK's roadmap to freedom. Right now I should be in the garden with my parents enjoying a beer and a burger from the barbecue. Now we are allowed to have people around. I didn't want to blow them off to do my normal live stream, and I didn't want you to miss out or mess up YouTube's algorithm. First of all, I want to say thanks to all the guests over the last month or so. Last week I had Ben Forrest on, which was almost a year to the day since my first ever live stream. So I thought what I could do is go through some stats with you and just show you how the channel's looking. So let me just bring this up. Okay, so this is lifetime. Since March 2020, we've had, this is reach, let's just go to overview. So we've had 2,260 views so far, 214 hours, 161 subscribers. So thank you to everyone that has subscribed. And that's been joining in. You can see over here that the traffic's getting a little bit livelier. One thing I was looking at, which is a bit strange, on the reach stats here, something happened on the 8th of April where YouTube just said, guys, girls, everyone, you've got to see what's going on here, and then I kind of stopped streaming for a long time. But yeah, I'm doing kind of weekly live streams at the moment, but I'm double booked tonight, so I'm not actually here now. I'm here yesterday streaming for a recording, and I hope this works because I've not done this before, and I don't normally prep the videos. Let me just see if I can sort the green screen. There we go, perfect. Okay, so let's get back to some of the details. So that's the stats. So I just did my deltas this week, and you might be surprised that I resisted the temptation to post to LinkedIn about it, but I do know that this stuff really matters. And just as I was planning this video in my head, I saw a post from AshleySN about the very same topic. So check out her post in the link in the description, and while you're down there, don't forget to click like and subscribe. So how to pass your Quebec deltas. Apologies for the clickbait title. If you are looking for exam dumps, this video is not for you. This video is about how to pass your Quebec Delta exams. It's about technique, and it's about why the deltas exist, a little bit of the background, my opinion, where they came from, why they're necessary, what the value is. But yeah, this is about how I do it, and maybe, and according to kind of Ashley's notes as well, a bit of technique about how that can, what you can do to help yourself, basically. So I've been working with ServiceNow for nearly 7 years, and the community has always been amazing. Part of the reason I made MVP is because of the community, but truth be told, ServiceNow has some really powerful enablement content, whether it's the free personal developer instance, the community, dev site, doc site, YouTube channel, the live coding happy hour, and to be fair, we do get paid quite well. So check out Travis Toulson's salary survey. I should also link some details for that in the description as well. But this is about why deltas are important. So firstly, what is a delta? I used to hear this term used a little bit more in kind of business, I guess. So let's just take a look. What does delta mean? But delta is obviously the Greek letter of the alphabet, but delta as the difference. So when we talk about the delta between something, I think there's also another term talking about as part of a river as well, but this is something I found. Yeah, delta. What does it mean? Delta is the difference or the change in something. So as you know, ServiceNow are doing regular releases, 2 family releases a year. The releases are named after cities around the world. So the last release was Paris, now we're in Quebec. The next one will be Rome, then San Diego, then Tokyo. I don't know what U's going to be. I'm not sure if I've seen that somewhere. If you know, then post in the comments about it. Let's see what will U be. But Delta is about what's changed since Paris, when we were talking about the Quebec deltas. So that's a little bit about that. So when deltas started, they were free, but the principle to me made a lot of sense, because if this is your first time doing a delta, well, first of all, don't make the same mistake I made. For London deltas, I failed the first time. You do get 4 attempts. It is open book, and you get a whole hour. That's 60 minutes with all of the material you need, all the notes, everything you've been taken. You can take that to the exam, so don't rush it. I did find that Quebec was some of the toughest, but I think I can explain that a little bit for myself. If you look at the kind of content I've been putting on this channel, I've been very much focused on things like UI Builder and Instant Scan. And it's not that I haven't had my eye on the ball, it's just that there's so many balls. Check out the Duke's video on going wide or going deep, and you know, on this channel the name says it all, Phil goes deep. Okay, so I've been really drilling into UI Builder, Instant Scan. I'm going to shout out Mark Rufoff as well for the Instant Scan content and all the work he's doing there. But those are the areas that I'm really interested in, along with GRC, my kind of mainline area. It's quite easy to focus on those things and not really know what's going on around you, what's going on the platform. And as I say, you know, working with the platform for so long, when I first started working with ServiceNow, I was working for a customer, and then I joined a consultancy and I had to get certified. But then I took the sysadmin exam without the training course. I just booked the exam, rocked up to the training center, took the exam, and thankfully I passed. Now you have to take the training course to get the voucher, and that's been around for a little while, but there's no way around it. But also, you don't have to pay twice. You get limited free retakes, so if you do fail, you can take you've got another chance to learn from that. But ServiceNow really want their partners and all the people working on the platform to know their stuff. So this is really about enablement. But if you can imagine that in the beginning, you could have taken your exam, you know, years back, and not have to do another certification. It's like passing your driving test. Okay, and the rules change, the roads change, the vehicles change, the technology changes, and nobody has to take their driving test again. You just learn as you go, but there's no way of checking that the people that are working on the platform really know what they're talking about and are kind of enforced to know their stuff. So deltas is really about staying current, staying up to date, knowing what's going on. And I really see the deltas as a learning opportunity, because it's been quite often the case that I take the exam, and because it's open book and because we are able to refer to that material and see the questions that ServiceNow are asking us in that delta, that we are prompted to go and find out something very specific, features that we otherwise might not have focused on. Okay, so I see the deltas as very much about staying up to date, staying current with the information, and making sure that as people working on the platform, we give the customers the best value. For Quebec and GRC, a lot has been released since Orlando, since the Orlando deltas, and some of the questions in there were asking really granular information. But yeah, don't forget, deltas are open book, so you're not expected to memorize it all, and you don't need to commit it all to memory. But I've got some top tips for you to help you approach the deltas, maybe take some of that kind of anxiety away. And yeah, so here are my top tips. Before you start, number one, read the release notes, and specifically for deltas, use the upgrading from links. Okay, so for Quebec, choose upgrading from Paris, and then you can navigate yourself to see the changes by product. This will literally give you the delta. And secondly, before you start as well, make sure your PDI is awake, your personal developer instance, your PDI. Make sure it's awake, make sure it's upgraded to Quebec, and make sure all the applications that you need to know about are installed and also upgraded and up to date. Okay? Don't just take the documentation's word for it. Use this opportunity to learn and see and click. Go to the PDI and check the features. Click around. Use the time you've got available. Thirdly, do not get stuck, and this is just basic exam technique. Make sure you go back and review your answers before you submit. Use the time available. Okay, so if you get stuck on a question, you really don't know the answer, don't spend the whole time worrying about that one answer. Okay, you've got 10 questions in the delta, that's all. Answer what you know, go back and check, and anything you've got stuck on, focus on that once you've got to the end. Go back and review. Okay, so that's a lesson in exam technique and also how to take deltas. And I thought what I would also do is just give you a quick example. And this is not taken from any delta. Okay, I'm not walking you through the deltas. I've done my exams. Okay, I'm not trying to give you any unnecessary clues. I don't want you to kind of take my word for it. But I'm going to give you an example. Let's see if I switch my screen over. Okay, so I'm going to focus on the workplace PPE inventory management. Okay, I don't know if they even do deltas in this stuff, so if you do, apologies. And if this is a question, apologies. I'm not taking the answers from the exam. I haven't done this delta. I'm picking on the workplace PPE inventory management tool solution, because it's very similar to something that we built in the CreatorCon hackathon last year. What do we call it? The world-class racking crew, right? The Rangoon team that took part in the 2020 CreatorCon hackathon were finalists because we built a solution called KIC, Key Items Crisis Kit. Okay, and it was all about, or mostly about, managing the inventory and the key items that you need in a crisis. And now you can see that the workplace safe workplace suite has got a workplace PPE inventory management. So I'm picking on this. I don't think there's a delta for it. So the question that you might see could be, okay, and you've got to look at the keywords, right? You've got to see the way they ask the question. ServiceNow want you to get this right. There's no trick questions here. The question I think that they might ask for something like this would be, what role is required to create a stock rule to automatically resupply a stockroom with an item? Okay, what role is required to create a stock rule to automatically resupply a stockroom with an item? They will use the words in the question that allows you to go into the docs, and I think in this round of Quebec they've stopped you copying and pasting the answers, the questions. Okay, so you have to type them out, but take the keywords. So you see when I hover that overrode it there. It's a bit little. Just got to watch out for that. So you could say, you could take some of the words out, right? Create stock rule, automatically resupply stockroom. Okay, and it's multiple choice as well. They're going to give you 4 answers. So the first answer might be admin. The next answer might be something like PPE admin. And I don't know, a third wild card might be ITIL. Okay, but I've just searched the keywords from my question and it's given me this result. Okay, and I can see here it's Quebec. So when I say create stock rules for PPE, I can see the role required. So the fourth option I'd expect to see
on my multiple choice for this question would be explicitly SN_IMT_PPE.PPE_admin. Okay, and if I already knew this, if I knew the application, I'd be fairly confident. I've probably clicked that answer, and then I'll go in here to check it. Now I'm seeing it in the docs. Then I would go to my PDI, and I don't think, if I just search in here, PPE, my other rule about making sure you've got the applications installed, I've not followed that. Let's go to workplace PPE. Yeah, I haven't got it installed, but I would go to that application in the instance and follow the process through. Okay, navigate to the inventory management, inventory stock rules, and that will be a list, and I will check the table, the ACLs. I would check, is there any conditions on the new button for that list control, and validate it as well. And what I find is doing the deltas really helps me embed that knowledge as well by going through this process. And I always have something to take away. There's one thing that I learned that I really want to drill into was around performance analytics and signals. Okay, KPI signals, something that looks really interesting that I haven't managed to really investigate. So that is my tips and tricks. 3 rules for passing your deltas. Okay, research, check the release notes, go through the release notes for the delta, for the upgrading from, what has changed for this product or in the platform features. Okay, key highlights, what's changed since Paris for Quebec, or for Rome from Quebec. Okay, keep checking those deltas out in the release notes. So research, number 1. Number 2, reference. Have the docs open in your other screen. Have your PDI open, upgraded, and with all the applications enabled. And thirdly, review. Before you click submit, before you submit your answers, go back through them, check them. Have you selected the best answer? Read the question again with fresh eyes. 3 steps to passing your Quebec deltas: research, reference, and review. It really is that simple. So thank you for watching. Sorry I can't be here live tonight. Please get involved in the comments, like, subscribe, check it all out, and maybe I'll see you next week. But thanks everyone, stay safe, take care, and that's all I can say.